Good morning, students. Today we'll teach in class 6th biology lesson number habitats, 8 habitats and adaptations. And in the previous class, I explained you about the mountain habitat, the different plants and animals which are found in the mountain habitat, what are the characteristic features of the animals and the plants which live in the mountain habitat. And today we'll discuss the aerial adaptation in birds. Aerial adaptation means those animals who live in the air. And you all know that birds fly in the air, and we will study about the characteristic features of the birds which help them to fly in the air. So you all know that birds have wings, feathers, legs and tail. So these wings, feathers, legs and tail help them to fly in the air. And especially in birds, what happens, their forelimbs are modified into wings, and these wings help them to fly. Not only this, their bones are light and hollow, and because of this light and hollow bones, they can easily fly in the air, because you all know that light object easily they can fly in the air. And another most important characteristics of the bird is that they have strong shoulder bones and modified breast bones to hold strong flight muscles. And these bones, shoulder bones which are present in them, they help the wings to move upward and downward. Upward means upstroke when they do, and downstroke. So to move their wings upward and downward, that is upstroke and downstroke, the strong shoulder bones and the modified breast bones help them to move the wings to the upward and downward. And their bodies are streamlined. They have streamlined bodies, and these streamlined bodies help them to move swiftly. This streamlined body you have also studied in the fish, which makes them move easily in the swim easily in the water. In the same way, the streamlined bodies of the birds, they also help them to move swiftly in the air, and they offer least resistance to the air. So these are the characteristic features of the flight animals, or we can say birds, especially because they fly in the air, that they have wings, feathers, legs, tails. Their forelimbs are modified into wings. They have light and hollow bones, strong shoulder bones and modified breast bones are present, as well as their bodies are streamlined. Now we'll study some aerial plants. Some aerial plants or special plants which are also, they do not grow in the air, but they develop their roots above the ground. So those plants which develop their roots above the ground, this type of plants are called aerial plants. Like example, epiphytes and pneumatophores. So epiphytes and pneumatophores both are the aerial plants, we can say, because their roots develop above the ground. So what are epiphytes? So epiphytes are especially those plants which grow on other plants for their physical support and better access to sunlight. Means another plant, the host plant in which they grow, and they take the sunlight from there only, but they do not take their nutrition, they derive their nutrition from other source. So these plants, epiphytes especially, have hanging roots, and not only this, they also absorb moisture from the air, and this moisture which they absorb, they help them in photosynthesis. So example of the epiphytes are orchids. So these are the plants which grow in the host plant for the physical support and better access to sunlight, but they derive their nutrition from the moisture which they absorb, and then they do the process of photosynthesis like orchids. Now another type of plants are some plants aerial, some plants have pneumatophores. Pneumatophores are actually the aerial roots which, or the breathing roots we can say, which grow in some plants, like in black mangrove. Black mangrove is a type of plant which grow in the swampy areas or swampy soils when there is waterlogging, and because of the waterlogging, what happens, the level of oxygen content is less over there. So this type of plants which have pneumatophores, they also are the example of the aerial plants. And some plants have assimilatory roots. So these roots means they have slender aerial hanging roots of the plants. Some hanging roots of the plants also we can say, like Tinospora, and in which the plants are green in color, they have the chlorophyll, and they do the process of photosynthesis. So these are the special type of plants which show some special adaptations in them. Like in epiphytes, we have seen they grow on other plants for physical support and sunlight, and nematophores which have breathing roots in them, breathing roots which help them to take oxygen. And third one is the plants which have assimilatory roots. So these are all about the aerial adaptations in plants and